So the other day I came across a couple of videos to where people was actually thanking veterans. They were thanking veterans in the airport as well as on the aircraft. And so I started to go and look a little bit more, and I saw that there's more videos out there where people are actually thanking veterans on the subways and train stations and just different areas, in grocery stores. And why were they thanking veterans? Well, not all veterans are trained the same. Not all veterans are skilled and combatives in their hands. The few that there are, now I'll give an example. Let's just use the Army as an example. You have a whole big old army, right? And let's just say you have 1 million people in the United States Army. I'm just throwing hypothetical numbers out there just to give you a situation, right? Less than 2% of that army are airborne qualified, or meaning that they are in jump units. 2% out of 100%, that's not many, is it? When you start getting to, and I'm just dealing with the Army, okay? When you start getting to the Army Rangers, you start getting to the Special Forces, you start getting into Delta Force. As you continue to go up those tiers, the percentages drop immensely. They drop considerably. They just do. And they drop fast. So there's not that many warriors out there. Now, also, you may have some people that are in infantry units, you know, that do combatives and stuff, but everybody's not trained to the same level. And very few veterans actually go out and sign up and learn how to box or learn how to do MMA. But I'm getting to this point right here. Some of us in the military, that was just part of the training that you did either on a bi-weekly or monthly or sometime every week basis, where you're out there scrapping and grappling with your peers, your brothers of arms. And that's just a fact. That's literally a fact. You're literally out there scrapping and grappling with your peers and brothers of arms, and you do it on a consistent basis. Or either you go to the gym and you get down there and start punching on the heavy back, and you're working out considerably, building up your skill set. So I said all to say this. There was a man that was getting very belligerent on the aircraft. Very belligerent. And of course, it's easy for this man to get very belligerent when you got this little stewardess sitting up there, and she's trying to do a job. Now, y'all know just as well as I do, all stewardesses are not created equal. Some of them have got issues. Some of them got Jezebel problems. But just remember, who knows? You ain't supposed to take your private life to your job, but you just realize that somebody could be having a bad day, okay? That doesn't mean you have to bark and get up and stick out your chest and everything else and all this other stuff. But man, I said that to say this. So this man starts getting in his stewardess face and stuff and bumping on her and stuff. And this retired Army Ranger, he took care of her and constrained her and restrained her until the law enforcement officials came. And the stewardess and everybody was thanking him for stepping up. And I might add, this guy was considerably bigger than this Army Ranger. And that don't mean a thing, I'm telling you. I was talking to a former NFL player, and he's a big dude. I'm talking about like 6'6", 320 or something like that, or maybe between 290 and 320. He's a big dude. That's a big dude. And myself and my Ranger buddy was sitting up there telling him that people like you are a field day for us, a little field day, because there's so much real estate, there's so much there to offer, and we hate to put it that we was trying to diffuse and just trying to be funny in the whole situation, but very serious. And then there was another incident where again there was this man trying to bully this little bitty man, and this little bitty man, you could tell that he was not trying to escalate. He was trying to de-escalate. He was trying to move out of harm's way, but this guy just wasn't having it. All of a sudden, the veteran stops, jumps in between it, and next thing you know, this guy turns his anger and rage towards him. The veteran tried to de-escalate, Guy swings on him. Nevertheless, the veteran, I'm going to put it like this. The guy didn't have a good day. The veteran held him until the law enforcement officers came. There was another one in a grocery store where they started banging buggies, finger pointing, throwing stuff at each other. I mean, just all kind of here comes a veteran again. Here comes a veteran. Veterans to the rescue. And then my favorite one is this old Vietnam veteran that was on, I believe it was a train, or was it a subway or a train in New York. And he was sitting down, and this young man started getting very belligerent, man. I mean, you know, one of these cocky, young, snot-nosed people, man, that think that they can huff and puff. I don't understand what's up with this world. I never understood that you think that you can sit and scream, holler, huff, and puff, that you're going to intimidate. You may be able to intimidate a lot of people, but I just never have known that type of lifestyle. But that you're going to intimidate some people. You're literally going to sit there and intimidate. You can make a face barking like a bull masking or a pit bull. I mean, just trying to intimidate, back people down, make them tell them, I would do this, I would. Oh boy, that didn't work with that Vietnam veteran. Vietnam veteran just said one thing to him, and he did antagonize him. He was already angry anyway. The Vietnam veteran says, come over here and shine my shoes. Guy got more belligerent, jumped up in his face. Ooh, nevertheless, that 60-something-year-old man, he gave that young man the literal ass whooping that he should have had from his father a long, long time ago. He gave him a damn good ass whooping. I mean, it was knuckle sandwiches all over the place, and that Vietnam veteran took care of him. See, when you got people that's been there, done it, done seen stuff like this, you ain't scary. You ain't intimidating at all. You ain't. You got people, man, listen, it just don't work. And then I saw one that has nothing to do with veterans. So I saw a guy, I believe they was at a Buffalo Bills game. And I saw this guy he was up on the higher ground, and then the other guy was on the lower ground. And this guy was going in, just like I said, barking like a chihuahua, looking like a bull masking or a pit bull. He was going, and this other guy that was down at the bottom, he's just looking at him and smiling. I don't know what he said. I couldn't make out what he said, but you could tell this guy was not intimidated. So he starts smiling. The guy pulls him and to get him away. And then somebody cuts and goes to another. they go to some film, and this guy that's doing all that hollering and screaming and carrying on, talking about what he gonna do and all this other stuff. The other guy at the lower part, he's up there smiling and laughing. This guy's a professional MMA fighter, and a damn good one too. The guy that was doing all that screaming and hollering, he's fortunate that guy kept his cool. And that's another thing about training. Trained people know how to keep their cool. Now, they will say a few words. They would. Now people like Sean Strickland, you know he gonna go after everybody, all right? Because Sean Strickland, he's a damn good fighter. He really is. I remember him talking about he'll challenge a Navy SEAL, and they'll get in the ring, but that Navy SEAL said, oh, that's good. He said, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for a 5-mile swim. I said, damn. And then as you begin to go under, I'm gonna keep on swimming. No boats, nobody to rescue, no nothing like that. I haven't heard him taking that offer up, you know what I mean? I haven't heard him. But for the most part, people that understand what can take place whenever you're in a fight, and they're professionals or they're experienced, they're the ones that usually try to calm the situation or diffuse it some. And if you still are trying to get really, really, antagonistic and forceful, they'll say a few things now. You're pretty good as long as you don't get within comfort zone. Yeah, at least you're pretty good with that. You can do all the honor screaming you want. K-band. But when you start coming up to the face and start, as soon as you lay one hair, it's over. It's game over. It's game over. Because Anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. But, and people say, well, you shouldn't fight. Well, tell everybody out there who's doing all these wars then, okay, if it wasn't necessary. I mean, you go read the scripture. Israel was a warring people. Yah is a God, is a man of war. He tells you that. So he don't have all this opinions about war and fighting like you people do out there. When it's necessary, it's necessary. I mean, Jesus showed us that when he made a whip, and then he started beating the hell out of the money changers and driving them out of the temple. He told him, my house is a house of prayer, but you done made it a den of thieves. You don't think that Yahshua was offended? See, we forget about all that stuff. We always trying to put him in some manger and put a wreath around him and wish him a Merry Christmas and all this old other pagan junk, but he don't play them games. So nevertheless, if you see somebody doing all that huffing and puffing and barking and talking about they gonna do this, they gonna do that, they ain't gonna do shit. They ain't gonna do a damn thing. As a matter of fact, and they probably ain't did shit all their life with this. They ain't gonna do shit. But if you get somebody that's quiet and somebody ain't gonna sit there and trade too many words, them the ones you need to watch out for. I just thought I'd give y'all that little tidbit right there in life. Don't pay attention to the ones that's doing all this. I've had, you wouldn't believe how many people that has said they're gonna whoop my ass over all these years I've been living, and ain't none of them did it yet. But they did a lot of this. A whole bunch of this right here. They ain't done it yet, and I don't think they ever gonna do it either. I may say, well, good, let's see if we can make it happen then. I mean, but it's something to watch though. People, listen to me, guys. Listen to me. Cooler heads need to prevail. And because you could do something to somebody that could really wreck your life, the rest of your life. Yeah, you may have destroyed somebody else, but you can literally wreck somebody's life. So try to diffuse and de-escalate something. And if you get to the place where you can't, I understand a good old backyard brawl, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all, man. But I know one thing I have learned in life, that a lot of people, they got a lot of this. A lot of this mouth right here. But they ain't gonna do nothing. Don't pay attention to that. They like them chihuahuas when you go knock on some neighbor's door and the first thing they do, they come doing all that barking. Y'all remember that thing on Facebook where they had two dogs at a fence and they were going at it. As soon as they removed the fence, both of them got quiet. As soon as that fence came back up, that's the majority of people today. So be at peace. Hey, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Just thought I'd put that out there. No, that don't mean that veterans are badasses and stuff. And there's a lot of them just know what they're doing. And mind you, these people are very fortunate that the veterans was out there exercising some constraint. Because veterans, we don't fight like y'all people do. Y'all got rules.